Welcome to Whippoorwill Holler. I'm Miss Lori and this is Mr. Brown. We live in the hills of Arkansas. We love the Lord. Keepers of the old ways, but accept some of the new. We love to cook and we love to eat. We love to garden. It's in our blood. It's how we stay sustainable and fill our pantry. We do a lot of canning and preserving. We live a sustainable life. We love our family. We work hard. And every once in a while, we like to dance. So y'all join us. Happy 4th, y'all. How about a tomato and cucumber summer salad for the 4th? And it's all in the dressing. And this dressing is pretty simple. We're going to use about a half a cup of red wine vinegar and a whole cup of water. We're going to use about a fourth a cup of grapeseed oil. It's just a neutral oil that I like to use, but you can use olive oil or you can use a vegetable oil. We're going to put a fourth of a cup of sugar, or you can put a fourth a cup of honey. And we're going to put just a pinch or two of salt and a little bit of black pepper. And I think this time I'm going to add me probably about a fourth or a half a teaspoon of dill, probably. And a little bit of garlic, minced garlic, about half a teaspoon of minced garlic. And that's all there is to it. So we're going to put the lid on it and we're going to shake the pooey out of it. And that's our marinade. Okay, let's get our onions cut up. Now usually when I make this, I use a purple onion, but I didn't have any. So I've got some of these little Vidalia onions I'm going to use. They're pretty good onions. They're not real hot. So I'll be using those. And you can cut them up any way you want to. I just usually cut my onion in half and then slice it up. But to me, a purple onion tastes the best when you're making a cucumber and tomato salad. But you just use what you got, especially as high as groceries are. Can't be too picky these days, can you? That's for sure. And you can put as many onions in here as you want. I like lots of onions. And besides that, if there's onions left, you know, I just put them in a jar with the marinade. And I just keep adding more cucumbers to it or more onions. And then you've got pickled onions. So don't never throw the marinade away. Now I've got several big cucumbers that I de-seeded. That's why they're going to be cut up in kind of weird looking hunks. But we don't, when they get that big, we don't like them big old seeds. So these are, I took the seeds out and I'm just going to chunk these up. Now if it was just a smaller regular size cucumber that didn't have big old chunks of, or big old seeds in it, I just slice it up regular. But you know, when a cucumber gets too big, you know them seeds get huge, and we just don't like them. So, kind of like my squash sometimes, when it gets too big, I de-seed it, because we don't want all them seeds. And see, this cucumber is just the right size, so I can just cut it up. Now, you can put anything in here besides tomatoes and cucumbers and onions. But this is our favorite way of eating it. I don't have a lot of tomatoes coming off right now, and I usually use cherry tomatoes in here, and all my cherry tomatoes are still green. So I'm going to have to just use a regular tomato. And these are Better Boy tomatoes, and they do look good, but they're kind of, I'm not really enjoying the texture on these very much this year. They are kind of sweet, but the texture, the inside's kind of doughy, and we just don't care for that. But they're still good. I mean, anything beats store-bought, that's for sure. But I do think sometimes that the weather causes your tomatoes just to do different things and to develop differently. But I do. Let's see, I have Big Boy planted. I've got beefsteak. I've got a bunch of patio tomatoes planted because me and my grandkids love the patio tomatoes. I think I've got a celebrity planted, and I got a couple of Cherokee purples. Danny and I have to be really careful about the tomatoes, what we eat. And a couple years ago, I planted some yellow tomatoes that were less in acidity, and they were pretty good. I didn't plant any this year. But you just cut your tomatoes up just like you did, about the same size as your cucumbers. Or however you want to cut it up, it really don't matter. This is such a simple, good thing to take to your 4th of July picnic because there's no mayonnaise or anything in it. I'm going to put just a little bit more black pepper on top. And then all you got to do is just shake this up again and pour it over your tomato and your cucumbers and your onions. And you want to make sure that you cover it completely up. And the best thing to do is to make this a day or two ahead of time and just let it sit. I usually make it a day ahead of time because you don't want your tomatoes to get too soggy. And you just want them vegetables just to marinate in there. And it's just a really good side salad on a hot day when you're having a barbecue or something. And like I said, don't throw your marinade away because you can keep adding to it. I was going to make a dessert and I run out of time, so but I will do that dessert that I was going to do, I promise. But it's just not happening right now. So I thought, well, I'll just bring y'all along when I'm making this. Most people that's got a garden have tomatoes, onions, and cucumbers. So there you go. An inexpensive, good dish for the 4th. I hope y'all have a wonderful 4th of July. However you spend it, just be careful and remember the reason for our Independence Day. I'm going to go ahead and pour the rest of this on there. And what you can do is put this in a bigger jar. And that's what I do a lot of times. And then I just stick it in the refrigerator. It'll last up to 3 months in the refrigerator. Not with tomatoes, but with your cucumbers and your onions. So I hope y'all like this recipe. If you've got cucumbers and tomatoes and onions, whoop you up a bowl, and I guarantee you're going to love it. God bless everybody, and happy 4th. We love y'all, and we're going to see y'all in a couple of days. We're off to the lake to enjoy a little bit of sunshine.